Ku, and then it turned into Privilege, and now it's Universe. The only thing I don't like is they've taken away the pool.
The pool was great, wasn't it? Well, that's what made me eventually want to have a pool club. Because I'd done my first party at 15 when I got kicked out of school, but I didn't call it a trues do, and they just sort of grew from rugby huts and school discos and things like that.
I remember going to Legoland. What a great place to do a party.
Yeah. Best party ever. Honestly, I still think that is the best party I've ever done in my life.
Welcome to the Ibiza Hall of Fame podcast with myself, Clara Griffin, and also Big Al. Our next guest is the driving force behind Ibiza's iconic daytime party scene, helping transform San Antonio into a global destination while staying true to Ibiza's authentic spirit. As one of the directors and founders of Ocean Beach Ibiza, we are proud to welcome Tony Truman into the Ibiza Hall of Fame.
Cheers, thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah.
Lovely meeting you, Tony.
Thank you for that lovely introduction.
You're
lovely
welcome.
to meet you too, Clara.
So we would like to know, if we go back,
Sure.
what was your first year in Ibiza?
1983. I came out here, 1983. I came out here on a family holiday. I'd watched the Wham Club Tropicana video on Top of the Pops or something like that, which was like the legendary Thursday night show back in the day, and like all kids of that age. And just saw that video, saw Ibiza, I didn't even know it was called Pikes or Ku Club, whatever.
Did you head there straight away?
And I just said, Mum, I want to go there. Yeah. On holiday this summer, she used to take me away, the family, on the summer.
How old were you?
15.
15
I've just been also kicked out of school, just done my first party as well on a boat and everything like that. And I thought, I want to go there. Not that I knew too much about the party scene. I didn't know anything about it, Alan, really. There wasn't really much of a sort of scene then. And I came out here on holiday. I wanted to stay in Playa d'Embossa, in the Don Tony, which is now the Ushuaia Tower. Yeah. And I wanted to stay there. It was full. So we ended up staying in the Port de Torrent, in the Pueblo Hotel. Met some older kids in the hotel who took me out to all the clubs, the Star Club, the everything, Estasis, Esparadis, and they took me to one night to the Ku Club, and that changed everything. Just going to that Ku Club.
It blows your mind, doesn't it?
Blowed my mind. I was a 15-year-old kid, shouldn't have even been in there. It was absolutely unbelievable. And then the following day, they took me to Pikes as well, and I was like, oh my God, 'cause I wanted to see where the video was done.
What people don't realise is, as a young English boy coming over to this island, it does blow your mind, doesn't it?
Blows your mind, especially back then, because now, back home, there's social media, everyone can see things that are going on. Yeah. Back there, all there was the odd video, like say, a Top of the Pops and things like that. So, didn't have a clue about anything, didn't have a clue about the clubs.
It was very exotic, wasn't it?
Very, oh my God. I remember, well, unbeknown to me then, but remember Tanit? Tanit, and his thong in the middle of the pool.
Well, he famously walked around Ku with his knob hanging out,
literally that. And I remember, I can even remember what I wore, how tacky. I wore like the shorts Andrew Ridgeley had on in the video, red, blue, white and yellow ones, and a yellow vest with Ibiza herpes, I love Ibiza herpes forever t-shirt. How tacky, but back then,
listen, in the 80s,
that was the era. I had long hair like you, had my earrings in and everything, and that's just what it was really. I didn't know about any DJs, didn't know. Totally green.
Well, back then, I mean, me and Tommy were doing parties. We, 1980, we started doing Chelsea and all that sort of stuff. But you're right, there wasn't much of a scene. No, we had an underground scene with the jazz funk stuff, but it wasn't until the late 80s that it all really started kicking off with the parties and all that kind of stuff. And and then me and Tommy came out here and did our parties here. So it totally evolves and to what it is today. Yeah. I mean, we're up on the top here. Look at this. This is fabulous.
And I'm glad I see it back there now as well. Because I remember going to the Idea Club there with the swinging basket chairs and stuff like that, and the West End was rocking at the time.
We did Peter Hankinson yesterday.
Oh, did you?
Because he's one of the guys responsible for the West End.
Of course he is. I love Pete.
Yeah, no. So it was good getting his perspective on how it all evolved
and how cosmopolitan it was as well. Then,
well, back in San Antonio now is known as an English destination, isn't it?
But
it wasn't then. When I first came here in 1980. There was lots of Germans here. Lots of Scandinavians.
Me too.
But it keeps evolving, doesn't it? It keeps evolving.
That's right.
We always, Ibiza Town's always been cosmopolitan. It's always been, you know, a mix of everyone. But San Antonio has changed a bit.
I think it was when the sort of the 90s, the 1830s holidays sort of came in, and it was all publicised on Ibiza Uncovered. I think that's when it sort of got that British reputation.
I hated that programme.
Yeah,
but it probably did Ibiza good.
Yeah.
I mean, I always say the only two good things in that programme was Lisa Ranson doing the talk, which we did recently, and Lisa Ranson and doing the talkover, and Fatboy Slim doing the theme tune for Magic Carpet Ride.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, so they're the only two good parts of that.
Parts of it, yeah.
Because they quoted it as the worst side of Ibiza, didn't they? Which isn't.
I think all the TV shows that happen about it, they all seem to do that. To be honest, we were a little bit guilty. We got wrapped into something a couple of years ago. Someone came to us, said we were doing this amazing documentary all about Ibiza and the hippies and the culture, and they turned it. Totally flipped it. I was absolutely fuming, you know, because I got a few people involved in it.
Well, you always got to do the edit thing. You got to, sign off on that.
I should have done that. I was a little bit naive on that, really, because I knew the people and I trusted them, and so I won't jump into that again.
There's some reason these documentaries and stuff, they always want to show the bad side, don't they?
Yeah.
And I don't know why. Because everybody
so
knows
much good on this island.
There's bad side of everywhere out, isn't there? There's bad side of London, bad side of New York, everywhere. Bad side of Oxfordshire. It doesn't matter where you go. There's a bad side of anywhere, you know. And they always seem to want to portray on the low things, which is a shame.
Well, you learned a lesson there.
Learned a lesson. You need constantly learning lessons.
You need to sign off the edit. That's what you need
58.
to do.
I'll remember next time I'll do that.
I think it was a very different time as well back then, because a lot of reality TV used to just, they want to make good telly, so they would.
They think the bad side of it is good telly, which I suppose in some ways it might be.
That's right, of course.
But, I mean, it did attract more people to this island.
You could touch on elements of that, and and say that, but like I say, the amount of amazing places out in amazing scenery.
Well, I said to we did Wayne earlier, and we were talking about it, and I said between yourself, Wayne, and Javier and people like that, you've turned San Antonio a bit more upmarket, which is fabulous.
I think when we opened Ocean Beach, I was doing a lot of social media at the time, and I was saying how sort of disappointed I was with the state of a lot of the hotels here. They all seem to be stuck in the 80s and hadn't evolved and moved forward. And now when I walk about, and I was down the Port de Torrent and down the bay the other day, wow, the transformation in the area is fantastic. And it's nice to see, what Hans has done at Ku and what Tomorrowland are doing at Stella Maris and things like that. There's a lot of money coming into the town.
Funny enough, those two places you've just said, Stella Maris and the old Accor, wasn't it?
Accor, that's right, yeah.
So we used to stay up there.
Yeah, that's right.
We stayed up there. And it's completely changed now.
Completely changed. Obviously, we've got the Wiki Woo over there as well.
And where we're sitting right now was the car park.
Car park.
It was a car park only 2 years ago.
Yeah, that's right.
And now look at this, it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's
absolutely
it's
beautiful.
Incredible. But the world evolves, doesn't it?
Yeah, no.
And it's funny because all these people who say, Ibiza's not the same, it's not the same. Nowhere's the same.
It evolves.
It evolves, and it evolves for some people the better, some people worse, maybe.
Yeah. When a lot of people, I always, the take on that I have is that it was always better when we were younger.
Yeah.
That was our time.
Yeah.
Even though we're still here and we're still doing it, but the young people now, it's their time, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah, so they're having the time of their life.
And that is what Ibiza was all about. It's for any age. I don't know if you saw a video I posted the other day. I had my mum who's 85. I had another friend who's 89, Val. I got them in the DJ box.
They were in the DJ box, yes.
I got them in the crowd went absolutely wild.
Did they have a little go?
Yeah, and afterwards, the amount of messages I got saying, Tone, I'm so glad you've done that. I want to bring mine down. She's 75, she's 80. My granddad's would love to do it. Bring them.
And a whole new business.
Cyber holidays. Yeah, but it is nice. I think that's always been the case, though, Al. Yeah. I remember going back to 1983 when I went into Ku, and the age group of people, I was probably the youngest person in there that night, but Tanit and a lot of other people were so much older, and all the older crowd. I remember walking around. There wasn't the VIP tables. There wasn't any VIP
tables,
culture.
but it wasn't separate.
VIP,
it wasn't separate.
Just
you could still walk through. But people, that was still going on. It was up on the big balcony, wasn't it?
That's right.
And, but now you're fenced off.
Yeah.
The VIP culture's changed in that way.
Very much so.
But even like Pachar back in the day, they always had their up above the dance floor.
Yeah.
They always had the VIP,
that
but
bit
it wasn't exclusive, was it?
Exclusive, no.
And, people could wander through, but people had their tables.
So glad they changed that DJ box in Pacha,
Yeah.
where it used to be.
Well,
Do you remember? I'm on the side.
Yeah,
I
and the DJ at one point he actually had his back to the
crowd. Yeah. I think where it is now.
PP used to. I remember PP, and I was that era. That was when I was doing it.
Yeah.
So I vividly remember because I was often in the DJ box and. The DJ had a back to the thing, and all space as well in the terrace with Alex P and Brandon.
I'd love to see change though. I'd love to see it. I don't know whether it be on our hands or in someone else's hands. Es Paradise. I know it's still because of Pepe and everything. And
I did Pepe last year, and Pepe. What I wanted to do, Pepe.
It's his life, isn't it?
That man built that club with his own hands.
Yeah, of course.
And literally when I walked in there to do him. He was 30 foot up a ladder, 80 odd years old.
I know, yeah, crazy.
I mean, he loves the building. He should let someone else take over.
That could be some club. That could be some club.
Listen,
we've got enough on our plate now. We don't need it anymore.
But no, that is the best club in San Antonio.
Yeah,
and it's one of the most beautiful clubs in the world, and it deserves better.
Just needs to be brought into this era a little bit more, doesn't it?
He does. He needs, what Pepe's never understood. He never understood what's going on, the culture, what's going on. He only understands his club, and he does look after that club. It's beautiful, it's still beautiful all these years.
Of course, yeah.
And he only put a roof on it, which are open for his plants.
That's right.
That's how passionate the man is.
Yeah.
But he's never quite understood what's going on right now, and he never wanted to pay the money.
That's
the
right.
truth
Yeah,
of
he
it.
didn't.
He didn't want to pay the money.
Didn't want to pay the money.
So that's where he falls down on that one.
But I used to love the Star Club as well. Like the Star Club.
He offered me a night this year.
Did he?
Yeah, and I said maybe next year. We'll see.
Nostalgic thing, yeah.
Yeah,
nice.
because we can do the Hall of Fame.
Oh, the Hall of Fame and the nostalgia. Look how well 528 have done with all their events and bringing back all the old school stuff and DJs and artists and promoters, and as well as mixing it in with the current ones as well. I think Andy and the team, they've done a really, really good job.
528's a great venue, isn't it?
Great venue. Always loved it.
Yeah,
great venue. And that's what I'm saying, San Antonio, it's got some great, even university's classed as San Antonio.
Well, it's actually
in the borough.
In the borough, yeah.
Yeah, it's in the borough.
Yeah.
So, we've got one of the best clubs in the world in the borough.
Well, the biggest club in the world.
The biggest club in the world, yeah.
I mean, it's a phenomenon, that place, isn't it?
It's unbelievable.
I mean, we remember, I remember it was, you remember it was Ku, and then it turned into Privilege, and now it's Universe. I mean, the only thing I don't like is they've taken away the pool. The
pool was great, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean,
that's what made me eventually want to have a pool club. Yeah. That was that whole night when I went there. It changed my whole outlook on life when I'm going back to England and what I wanted to do. And I said, Mum, I want to be here in Ibiza. She goes, you're 15, you can't, you're too young. You have to wait till you're 17 or 18. So I was dying to get kicked out of school as soon as I could to come back. And
No, but listen, that pool in a nightclub. Yeah. I mean, I think Studio Valbonne, London.
Yeah, Studio Valbonne,
the one in Maidenhead's, the only one that had that.
Yeah.
And we did parties there back in the day. And it's just that added element, isn't it?
It's really weird we're having this conversation because yesterday we've been doing a lot of O Beach tours. One of the things I wanted to do with the brand was expand it because so many people ask us to do sort of tour nights. I didn't want to just do a club night and be like everyone else who does loads of clubs because I don't see us as a club. We're a daytime pool party brand. So myself and Paul Crane from Kinky Malinky, who's been heading up the tours for us, yesterday we've been looking and searching for big hotels throughout the UK with pools, big venues with swimming pools and Lidos and things like that from
There's one in
Guildford, there's one?
No, there's the airport.
The Sheraton Skyline. I've done my 40th there.
There you go.
It was amazing. Yeah, I've done that there.
I was talking to Clara before because she doesn't know your history. Obviously, we know each other for a long time. But we talked about True Do's. Yeah. Let's talk about True Do's for a bit.
Well, that's how, after that holiday, that's how that all evolved, really, because I'd done my first party at 15 when I got kicked out of school, but I didn't call it a Trues Do. I didn't have a think. It was just a party. It's just a party. But now when I say, oh, yeah, that was my first True, if I do think about it, the name didn't come till a few years later, to be honest. I just started doing a few parties and everyone was just going to all the Truman parties. But it was on the back of coming back from here that August in 83. And I'd just done the first one in the May, and I said, I've got to do a party. So the following one I done was New Year's Eve. So I hired a a little local hall up the road from me. The fella said to me, right, it's 25 quid to hire. There's the keys. You've got it for 24 hours. I was like,
here we go.
Result, held about 300 people. So I'd done a bad taste thing, and which was really naughty. My mum was disgusted with me, so I went as a Tampax. like you do, but silly kids at the time and everything. And that sold out, and I thought, well, this is good. I've done another one, hired a rugby field, a rugby club, and then started doing all the boats parties on the Thames. I was doing the boat parties out, the trues do's then, when the Marchionestas asked to happen.
Yeah. Did they stop after? Did you stop doing it?
Stopped instantly. And I'd had a couple of accidents, to tell the truth, Al. We'd done a boat and the fog come down on the Thames. It was only between Hampton Court and Richmond we was doing it. And the fog came down and the boat banged into the side and bang, everyone fell over. We all had to get out. Another one I'd done from East London. I'd done it from Tower Bridge going out East London, coming back, the amp blew. And that's when everyone was getting on the gear as the pills at the time and everything like that. So imagine they've got like 500 people, 400 people on this boat off their rocker, no music. Everyone's screaming at me, what's going on? And so, I was doing the boat parties then and they became very popular.
But that Marchioness put the mockers on that, didn't it?
Literally, do you know what? You could see it happening.
That was sad,
in a way.
wasn't it? It was
very,
sad.
very sad, very tragic and everything. So I thought, right, I've got to get off the water, get back onto the land and to do some other parties. And they just sort of grew from rugby huts and school discos and things like that, youth club parties, because that was all that people of our age could do at the time. It was always nightclubs back then out, trousers and shirts.
Discos.
They were
discos.
weren't you? And then it was like, literally, the last 15 minutes was all the slow records. You used to grab a bird and have a dance.
I sort of claim it a little bit for myself, me and Tommy. We turned discotheques into venues. That's what we did. Because we were going into literally discotheques and turning them into a club night. Like Stringfellows. Before we went to Stringfellows, it was Stringfellows. That's all it was.
That's all it was.
On a Thursday night, we created something completely different with the dance music, and we turned it into something slightly different. And I'm proud of that what we did
Very
with
much
that.
so. You were pioneers in leading the way for the likes of me and all the other sort of promoters of what you guys were doing.
And talking about true dudes, I mean, I remember going to Legoland. What a great place to do a party.
Yeah, best party ever. Honestly, I still think that is the best party I've ever done in my life.
I really enjoyed myself.
Yeah, it turned out to be the hottest night of the year.
What year was that when you did
that? That was 2001, I think, 2002.
Oh, that's a good time.
Yeah, I remember it was the last weekend in June 2001. That's when it was, and we took a real gamble because Legoland's open air.
It's a big vast
It's got,
area.
and actually to take over a kiddies theme park as well, because that closed at 6 o'clock. We had to turn it round in 2 hours, sort of get all the production, all the different sound systems in, all the bars. And we sold out. I remember we sold about 4,000 tickets that night.
It was brilliant.
So we'd gone from doing parties from, say, 1,000 people, 1,200 people, to doing something to 4,000 people. Suddenly you think, wow, I've cracked it. You cracked it. And
that is a nice feeling, isn't it?
And it was a nice feeling, but then the news of the world the following day was Legoverland, rave at kids' theme park. Legoverland. Well, I've still got the poster I've got the poster in my office on the wall. Yeah, Legoverland. But it brought us a lot of notoriety from it. It brought us a lot of publicity. And then our next party, everyone wanted to come like that.
Well, listen, they say any press is good press.
Any press is good press.
In that case, it probably is, isn't it? Yeah. In that case.
So that was amazing, and even the after party that night. And I remember the following day when I was leaving the hotel, I had this massive big bag of money with about 40 grand in it, and I've gone to say goodbye to all my friends. I've got in the car, drove off, started driving up the M3. I'd left the money in the thing. I was like, oh my god, I absolutely myself. Spun the car around, drove back, and there was my bag of money sitting on the seat. I was like, wow. But what a night.
Them days that what you said there, them sort of things back in the day, it happens all the time.
Get away with murder.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, I mean,
but it wasn't the social media.
Yeah,
I think that's what that in 2000 there was no social. I think maybe MySpace might have come about or something like that.
We tell that story, like when me and Tommy first came out here and doing the weekly parties out in 1990. No mobile phones, no internet. It literally was flyers, posters.
Creating great flyers.
Yeah, and it was the image, isn't it? The images you gave.
I think for me, flyers have all, and I still do them now when I do a party, really important. I think if you get something through the door, because back then it was only names and addresses, because you never got to see everyone and dish them out all the time, and like you get something like quite a creative flyer, and people think, oh, there's a bit of effort gone into this.
You know what you're saying there, exactly what you're saying there. I look at all these the big billboards. They're so boring.
So dull. Just pictures of DJs.
Just a picture of and they're not all the prettiest looking.
You look
DJs,
at the ones from
are
back in the day, from like the El Davinos and stuff like that.
Why don't they put the DJ on there, but at least put a bit more effort into it?
Well, I think now because they're DJ-led nights, aren't they?
They are.
We used to be promotional
nights.
There's
nothing wrong with making it look nice.
No,
is there?
true.
You know, there's nothing wrong. You know,
No.
they really should do something about that. Yeah. You know, and that's down to the.
Did you ever used to see the Supermarché one?
No.
Do you know the Supermarché, when they had a good night at Privilege? Their billboard was like, I think they were one of the first people to use all the 3D imagery, but that had so much going on it. You looked at it and you thought, that looks fun.
Well, listen, the imagery on the island, I mean, Elro, they're the people that are giving you a show and
100%.
giving you the imagery and all that. 100%. And they're the only ones. There ain't many, is there?
No,
you
not at all.
You know, there's not much of that going on. You know, so let's talk about which is right behind us, which is fabulous. Right
Our baby, our little baby.
Obviously, you're having a great season this season.
We are indeed, yeah. I think it's going to be probably a record season this year. I think that's due to a lot of things. We've had natural progression and growth, lucky enough, over the last 14 years. For one reason or another. But I think this year, because of all the problems in the Middle East, I think a lot of people haven't been sort of going out to that region during the summer.
They've got no choice, so let's come
They said,
this way.
you know what, we're going to go to Spain, it's easy and things like that. So I think Spain and some other countries had a real boost. Europe in general has had a real boost with tourism, which was much needed because it's been quite difficult for a lot of people. And that's just going from strength to strength.
Want to talk about some of the nights you've got going on this year? You know, it was daytime.
It's daytime, yeah. We end at 11 o'clock at night, which is nice. People getting there. We open at 1 o'clock, so everyone's had a good skinful by then. But Monday nights we changed it this year. We decided, because on a Sunday we work alternate Sundays with 4 different promoters throughout the summer, and that's proved really successful. From the spray parties to Sin to all the others, Kinky Malinky. And this year we had so many promoters wanting to do other stuff, but we didn't have time to fit them in. We sort of allocated a Monday slot. So we're working with like Love Juice, Forward Motion, Zuvia, some other people as well, and sort of giving other people an opportunity. Because
so once a month almost?
Once a month. So we've got a Sunday and a Monday, which is a once a month alternative thing.
And it gives you a bit more flavour as well.
Gives us more flavour, appeals us to a different market. We can try with the Zuvia, we're trying Afro House. We've never been sort of known for doing Afro House music, and that's been the music of the last sort of 3 or 4 years, isn't it, really? Yeah. So it's such a huge explosion. And so that's working really well. The people are loving that. Forward Motion is usually in over 25s. They bring a total different demographic.
Yeah, there's a little bit more soulful
and everything like that, so that's good. And also this year we've started capitalising on our music label, which is Ocean Beach Music.
That's the new thing you've just launched.
That's the new thing, yeah. We have.
I see it with Majestic. He was doing a
Majestic's
thing on
been
it.
heading that up with Mickey Slim and stuff like
He's
that.
He's a good lad, Majestic.
Great lad, and Mickey's been about a long time as well. Yeah. And we just get so many people now because all these DJs are producers, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
And we get offered tracks all the time, and it just seems like a natural progression. Sort of set up a music label, work with up and coming talent or old talent or whoever, and try and release a few good tunes.
Yeah,
so we're doing that, you know.
That always helps as well.
Always helps.
Well, you know, diversifying, isn't it? Yeah. You know, going slightly different routes in the same industry. Yeah. I mean, that's the part of this podcast, the Hall of Fame. You know, we're giving these to all sorts of people, as you know. You know, not just club owners, not just DJs. It's about the industry.
Industry in general.
You know? And we know that some of the people we're going to give them to, we ain't going to get a lot of traction on it.
No, that's right.
We're doing the right thing. We give them to the people that have made this scene. Exactly what it is.
It's all about the music, Al.
Yeah, it's always been about.
It's always been about the music. I think it's the one common denominator that everyone's got in life. Whether it's music, more so than anything, because whether you like classical, whether you like jazz, whether you like opera, whether you like dance, trance, pop, it's the one thing that every single person in the world can relate to.
We're human beings. We react brilliantly to music, don't we? That's what it's been. And in our particular scene with the dance music, they've proven recently, I've said it a couple of times now, they've proven it makes you live 6 years longer.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I've seen that on social media.
So,
do you know what I do hate getting asked? What's your favourite track? How can you?
Well, we are
oh no, you're not going to answer that. How can you?
We're going to say, give us some, especially Ibiza. Give us 3 tracks.
Or anthems of Ibiza.
Well, I'm a bit of like an old school house boy and stuff like that, and I love the classics from Alison Limwick, Where Love Lives. I love Love Is in the Air. I love things like that. I love. Oh God, so it's hard, I like. What else? Dry as a Bone, Real Love. I like sort of quite soulful stuff. And then I love.
You're old school like me.
I love all that.
Soul stuff,
every time I see the girl, I love stuff like that. All that the stuff back in the day. But then you've got great stuff that people like Max and Luke Dean are putting out and things like that. I always think there's music for occasion. Depends where you go. In it really. If you're sitting on the beach and you're chilling out with your partner or anything like that, you don't want to be listening to banging house music. I want something a bit more like Sade or something like that. And I'd like to say I really feel there's music for occasions.
Well, in our industry, it's music led, so it's important what they're playing, isn't it?
I've been watching some of the stuff that you've done and some of Norman's stuff. And like you see some of the tracks he has and the way he gets the crowd rocking, and he's just such an entertainer, isn't he? He's an absolute legend, isn't he? Superstar DJ, and that is someone who Fisher's a bit the same, isn't he?
I called Fat Boy Slim Norman. I called him the king of the mashup.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Because he's different from all the other
DJs.
He
plays anything.
He plays anything, and he does particular stuff for a particular show, and he's amazing. The show that he's putting out now is pretty good.
I'm not so keen on some of this real melodic stuff. I think you see this in the clubs and all that.
We're old soul boys, so we want to hear a bit of vocal. We want to hear the beautiful.
All the girls dancing around their handbags, all set hands in the air, sing along.
We don't mind that.
But it's funny, people go, "Oh, that's cheesy." Well, it might be cheesy to you, but like I say, it's music
we've lived that. We've
lived it.
Yeah, we've come right through that.
Music is the answer.
Yeah. So talking about DJs, who's your favourite? there must be a few on the list.
For me, Brandon,
he's not bad.
I love, but just for Brandon. I think it's everything that comes with Brandon and knowing him like you have all them years. And I see your interview with him. You helped put him on the map, didn't you?
Yeah.
Totally, Al. And that story about him and Alex and space and everything like that. I don't know. I just sort of always had the most fun with Brandon as well. He's a bit like Norman. He'll play anything. Yeah. He'll look at a crowd and go, "Would you like that?" He's not scared. Brandon, you can do requests with. He's like, okay, he doesn't try to be too cool for his own pants like a lot of them. Alex is the same.
Them two guys, they're very different. Alex technically is fantastic and he's always been a good DJ, but he sticks to the dance music pretty much. Brandon, different kettle of fish. May not be the most technically gifted, but plays fantastic music.
He plays for the party.
He plays fantastic music, and for me, a DJ, it's what they're playing is the most important part.
But nowadays we've got a fantastic resident, Sammy Dungate, who's been with me like 17 years. He's brilliant, and he's like old school. He jumps on the mic now and again. None of them do that anymore, hardly do they? Paris Taylor, I love Paris. I love a lot of the girls who play for us. DJ Marie. Marie. She used to be DJ at True's Do's.
Both of us.
For you as well, Al, for a long time.
Yeah.
And like Marie's another one.
Well, she doesn't get enough credibility.
She doesn't. I'd like to bring her back. She hasn't been too well, though.
We did Lisa Loud recently, and they call her the First Lady of House, which is warranted. That's good. Fantastic DJ. But back then, there was only about 5 of them.
Yeah, that's right.
There was Smoking Joe. Yeah. There was Lisa Loud, Nancy Noise, DJ Marie. And Michaela's Power.
Right,
Michaela was Stringfellows.
Oh, right, okay,
and Marie came out of Stringfellows as well.
She did. I was going to say, she was at Stringfellows.
So they were the 5 girls, and really they were the 5 girls who set the trend for female DJs.
Yeah, that's right.
They were trailblazers in their field.
And so I can't forget Marie because she was amazing over the years of Truman.
I'll get on at some point. I will get her on.
That'd be a great one to get her on out because she is a legendary. Even though she's well out of the scene now because she hasn't been well.
What happened with Marie? She didn't want to move with the new technology. She was quite all right with the computer mixing and stuff. Yeah. But then when it came to the sticks and the rest, she didn't want to move on. I don't think. But listen, she's...
Great story about Brandon quickly. A few years ago this was, he's come into O Beach one day, and I think it was Ocean then, right? He's got a big box of records. You never see the DJ record like that. And everyone's going, cool, look at that old timer with the old record box. He's still got a record box, and people are like half sniggering and laughing at him. And he's come over, he's come to my table, banged the table, and someone's gone, I can't believe you got a record box, Brad. He's opened it up, pulled his stick out. There you go.
He's always been a character.
He's brilliant, isn't he? He's like, go on, Brad. I can keep up with these young ones. He's like,
listen, he used to come to Broadway Boulevard on a Thursday night.
Yeah.
And,
I used to love it in there, by the way.
Yeah, so I mean, that was, us, Shum. There was only Pocket Tommy was doing it out in Maidenhead at the time. There was only a few of us doing it.
Yeah.
We were the innovators of that scene, kicking off the acid house breaking in England and all that. And Brandon used to turn up literally with his 2 torches on the stage doing his mad dancing. And he would drive us mad, literally drive us mad.
But he used to carry
Let
loads of
me
boxes.
play some music, let me play some music.
But he used to bring about, I remember Brady turning up with him. Brady was holding about 3 or 4 record boxes. He had about like 4 or 5, 6 record boxes.
He
loves
his music.
Loves his music.
He loves his music. And listen, that's the passion, isn't
it? Lovely. I've been seeing some of the sort of the, like, your Carl Coxes and all that, and even Spoonie, the record collection some of them have got. They turn the basements of their houses into this shrine of records. It's beautiful to see the old vinyl.
We've been talking about lots of, obviously, the people who are no longer with us, like Jose Padilla. And we recently did Andy Wilson, who has got all of Jose Padilla's, all the records,
all the tunes.
He was left all his records.
Wow.
So because he's on the radio, isn't he? Andy Wilson's on the radio.
Some collection, isn't it?
Yeah, that is a collection and a half.
Oh.
We're also going to do something for Tony Pike, your friend.
Yeah. Love Tony.
Brasilio.
Legend.
Frankie Knuckles.
Yeah.
We're going to induct all these people.
They're real legends, aren't they?
They're real legends. Tony DeVere. Yeah. There's a load of people that need to be spoken
100%.
about. A part of this.
It's going to go on and on, the Hall of Fame, isn't it?
It's going to go on. We're not going to run out of people to give them to, this for sure. Because there's a lot of people in this industry. I mean, we recently went to IMS. And we're also doing the backside of it as well.
I also got to thank you, Al, because when I was young and stuff like that, going to a few of those parties and sort of growing up in that scene, never been one so much into the DJs back then, but I used to sort of want to emulate what you and Tommy were doing, like the Albert Hall and stuff like that, and all those amazing dudes. And that always gave me some inspiration, not to just do club nights, to do venues,
do something special,
which is special.
See,
special.
So what you did, and I appreciate what you just said then, because we didn't just want to go into a club and do a party. Yeah. We were all. Me and Tommy spoke about Royal Albert Hall for years and years, and we always said to ourselves, if we could ever get the Royal Albert Hall, that would be something special.
Something else, yeah.
And it happened in the end. It happened in the end. And when we came here, it was like a whole different ball game. I mean, you got 5 of the best clubs in the world, all in one little island.
Well, it's such an eye-opener coming here, isn't it? And that's what I was saying, back from the 80s, and even when I sort of dipped back in the 90s and stuff like that, and you sort of, there was nowhere like it, was there?
No.
Because like you just said, there was, the clubs in England were nightclubs, your Cinderella, Rockefellers.
Proper old discotheques.
Like your Hollywoods and proper old 80s flashing lights and stuff. Yeah. And I think that's one of the reasons, like a bit like yourself, production was so important to me. And how it looked and what the theme of the event was, the stylising of it from your artwork to literally everything. To add in all the musicians, because back in the day, also there was no musicians.
No.
You never used to have a percussionist, did you really?
I used Bongo Steve, but he was sadly no longer with us. Yeah. And I loved him. He filled out the sound for the DJ, and he was particularly good working with a DJ. So, God rest Steve.
I think the first one I used to work with was Shovel.
Shovel,
from
yeah.
the M people.
I like Shovel, yeah.
Shovel, Magic Fingers, when we was doing parties at the Emporium.
I still really like that. A good percussionist with the DJ does work. Yeah. Because, it's dance music that we're listening to. So the percussionist is a big part of that. So I still like
I know from doing our birthday, it's our 14th birthday party on Sunday, and something we do every Wednesday with House in Paradise and every Friday with Pool Party. We have 3 musicians who come in, like an electric guitarist, sax player and a violinist. And wow, the vibe they create.
Funny if you were saying that, Wayne was just talking about one of his favourite nights. was when Ed Sheeran turned up, and you had them there.
Yeah, that was incredible. That was when we used to do it on a Monday, and then Ed came in and said to me, "Tone, do you mind if I play?" It was like, "You're one of the biggest
You're not going to say no, are you?
Pop stars in the world, and you're asking us if you can perform and everything." And he's literally getting the words off his phone because he'd forgotten the words.
Yeah, well, listen, you imagine I remember every
crowd
record.
diving and everything. That was that for me. I think you'll get Goose Pimples now was the most special day we've ever had in there. Okay, you know, it really sort of like, wow, we can have someone as famous as Ed, as humble and as kind.
He's a nice fella.
He
seems like a very nice fella.
He's one of the boys. Like I say, he was jumping in the crowd, having a laugh.
Unbelievably talented.
You know, he's not up himself at all. When you talk to Ed, he wants to talk about you. What you're doing, how's your business doing? He's really interested about business. Where'd you get that watch from? He loves talking about. It's not just all about him. Where some people you meet who've got a lot of fame are just so aloof, aren't they?
But the talent is phenomenal.
Phenomenal,
it's a phenomenal talent
yeah.
what he does. You know, I even liked him with just the little beatboxing.
Yeah, what he does with his feet
all that,
and
and all that.
yeah.
I love all that.
It's incredible. He'd be one for the Hall of Fame.
Well, we'd love to. Ed,
that was a Hall of Fame moment. That was.
Ed, if you're watching, we want you on, mate.
Ed, next time you come to my beef, I'm going to get you on this. All right.
A great night I remember of yours was your 50th down in Brighton.
My 50th at the Grand Hotel in Brighton.
It was a fabulous night.
Yeah, 8 years ago. How's that mad? I'm starting looking for venues now for my 60th. Do you recommend, Eddie?
I've got a few in mind.
That was unbelievable. That was
that was a good one. Cecil Resort. It was like a away day for all of us guys going there, staying the night in the hotel, and it was a nice.
I remember a lot of time at the time, a lot of people going, "Well, look, you're from London, so why aren't you doing it in London?" And I thought, do you know what? I want a destination. So anyone who's going to come is coming not because it's up the road. They're coming because it was my 50th. And they made the effort, and it's lovely to get everyone together. That night out, there was everyone from over the years there, from like the 80s,
and you brought
90s.
Marie, she came and played.
Yeah, Marie played as well, you know. So, and I like mixing all like the older DJs with the new ones as well, and stuff like that. And you know, that was a very, very proud night. And 2 years' time, it's the big 6-0.
6-0, yeah. So I think I keep because the promoter in me never stops working.
No.
I see something, I go, ooh, that's a bit of me.
Do you always go to venues and go, oh, I'd love to do a party?
You sort of walk in looking at a different
eyes. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you definitely.
Because that's
what you can do with it.
Yeah, that's what we've done for years. So you do walk in as a promoter, don't you?
Literally every venue I walk in, even if I walk in a restaurant, I go, I wouldn't have the entrance there, I'd have had it round there because it's a better flow or something. I think it's just like the creative and like the promoter in you.
It definitely is.
But what a lovely industry. How lucky are we?
Well, I've been saying on these podcasts, it's an extended family.
Yeah.
You know, we probably never would have met if it wasn't for dance music.
No, that's right, yeah.
You know, the promotion game and all that. And it is a big family, you know. We're all connected somehow with someone else, and that's the way it works. And this music it started out small with us guys starting over here and in London and stuff like that, but it's turned into this massive thing.
Someone asked me the other day. They said, "When are you going to retire?" I was like,
we never retire.
What do you want? I don't want to retire. I'm having the best time. They said, well, you're successful. And I said, well, how do you define success? And they went, oh, you've got loads of money. I went, that's not success. I said, for me, success is getting up in the morning and going to bed at night, literally doing exactly what you want.
My success is me sitting here talking to you about our
how
careers.
Lucky,
What a great life we've had.
What a great life.
Yeah.
And I think everyone in this industry, it is such a great industry to be in, and it's a roller coaster.
Listen, we have our ups and downs, don't we?
100%. You know, we've all been skint, we've all been on the floor, we've all had money, we've all lost money. With
Wayne, we were talking about lockdown. I mean, it must have been terrible for you guys.
Terrible. But now when I reflect on it, I actually think it was a good thing. Not a good thing that all the people lost their lives, of course not, and everything. But I think for the reset of the world and stuff like that, and I think it's a bit like what's happened in Dubai now with the war.
Another reset.
It's another reset for there. Everything was escalating, prices, everyone was getting carried away, us included, you know. And I think the world had come a bit too financially grow. And I think now and again it needs these big resets every now and then to sort of bring us all back to be a little bit grounded and back to normality and realise, be thankful for what we've got.
Listen, I'm loving life. I've got my mojo back. You know, I'm doing something I'm really enjoying, and it's the industry that I've come from. It's something I know, and it's you know, and giving back to you guys who've done exactly the same as what I've done, has spent your whole life in this industry.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm loving life, so I'm not complaining. I'm never going to complain.
Never complain
I'm
about
never going
it.
to complain.
And some people say to me, what do you look forward to most each year? What party? What is it you look forward to?
The whole thing.
It's the whole thing. But I think also meeting new people, Al. I haven't lost my appetite for meeting new people and finding out new experiences.
That's the promoter.
You know, I think it's so nice, really. Okay, you've got all your best friends and you've got all the people you knock about with, you've got all your staff and you love all of them and everything. But so many new people come into your life when you do something like this, in hospitality. And a guy sat on the table and said to me the other day, wow, man, people come up to you. I said, yeah, isn't it nice? Yeah. Isn't it nice starting getting to meet all these lovely people? Yeah.
Oh, yesterday, do you know Aura, the artist?
Of course, yeah.
We gave one to Aura yesterday.
Oh, amazing.
And I mean, lovely lady. Yeah. Absolutely, you know, I never met her before. Yeah. She came over, she'd done a bit of research on, I didn't even realise. She'd done me a cover of all the clubs I've done.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
And I was shocked that she had done the research and she had done that for me.
Oh my God.
I mean, it's, you know, I was, you know.
Bad now, I can give you an orange cup. You give me a lovely shiny
You give me loads of good nights, mate. Don't worry about that. You give me loads of good
from
nights.
every detail, wasn't it?
If you want to come to the Wiki's 14th birthday tonight, I'll give you another good night.
So what time's that?
It's 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock. We've incorporated it with a fashion show. Because that's another thing I think where music sort of is so heavily involved now. People want sort of more than just a DJ. Like, you know, with O Beach, we put on the show, very Cirque du Soleil. Tonight at the Wiki, we've got like a fashion show. And the music and the cultural and the arts part of it.
Few extras.
A little bit of extra. It's like when Dizzy, I used to love it when Dizzy used to do Urban in Ibiza up at Zaro. That was incredible. It's such a shame it stopped. You know, whether it was the music, it was the art, it was the live performance, it was the live painting, it was the people making things, and it was just wow. That for me is a top night out.
He's a good lad. I like
great.
Jay.
I love this. Great. Shame he's not in Ibiza. Isn't
Well, he's opened the place in London.
That's right,
Well, so just the sort of outskirts of London. And the Bank, is it the Bank?
Oh, is that what it was?
It's called the Bank, I think. What Dizzy's doing. It's a new gallery.
Oh, lovely. Oh, good on him.
He's still doing his art. He's still selling his art and stuff.
Good.
Yeah, I always seeing what he's up to and what he's selling and stuff like that. That's the artist in me. I paint a bit myself.
Another big pioneer for me out here was Jason Ball.
Jason's a good lad.
Jason's a great lad. Have you inducted him yet?
We're going to do him on Friday.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to do it at the bass bar.
At the bass bar. How mad's I say that, right? Because I think Jason, when I sort of said, right, I'm going to have business here, I'm going to sort of come here and try and do what we're doing more so. I was doing villa parties at the time. But Jason was the one I probably looked up to the most and thought he had the bar, then he just got the hotel, he had all the guest lists for all the clubs, he was Mr. Connected, wasn't he?
Yeah.
For that sort of period of time. And well, he still is, obviously.
Well, that period when, you know, the rock bar, the bass bar, Ibiza town was a little bit, it was quite nice. Fuzzy,
wasn't it? Yeah.
It's changed a little bit now. But
the boat over to El Divino.
Yeah.
And all the parades out, isn't it a shame? All them parades that used to go through Ibiza town, and they just literally killed them with all the licences, the charges. That's what I think is sad about Ibiza. Some of the new laws that they bring in, you know, like this El Pueblo up here.
We talk a lot about the freedom that used to be here.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still a fabulous place.
Yeah, of course.
We all still love it.
Of course.
But when I first came here, it was
lawless.
Not lawless. No one was doing anything wrong.
No.
We're all just enjoying ourselves. You know, I talk about, you know, I put 10,000 people in the old Ku, and there weren't no doormen.
No doormen.
No doormen. There was one guy in a green, like he wasn't Guardia, but he looked like Guardia and he had a gun. He was just one guy on the door.
Standing there,
and that's all we had.
Didn't need it.
Everyone was enjoying themselves, weren't they?
Wow.
I mean,
you must have made a few quid then with no security bill.
We've done all right over the years.
It's funny, isn't it? Really, what they charge now to get in the clubs as well. Let's
talk a little bit about, because O's not the only thing you do here, is
no.
it? Let's talk about some of the other things you do here.
Right next door there, we've got Bamboo Ku, which is an amazing location. We're currently doing the World Cup fan zone there. But we do 3 El Kiddo parties, which are like a sort of a take on El Row, but for children.
Okay.
So it's really nice because...
Teach them young.
Well, teach them young, get them engaged with your branding and things like that. But not just that. A lot of my friends still want to come to Ibiza, but they've got kids. But they still want to have fun. Just because they've got kids doesn't mean they can't have fun. So they come in there. They usually have a nanny or like brought a nan or granddad with them. They look after the kids. They pop into O Beach for a couple of hours, have a bit of their raving, come back out and go and do the family bit. And that's really, really nice. You know, it's working really well. I think this year that's working the best it's ever worked. It's taken us time to find its identity because we weren't.
Because you're right next to O, so
right
it has to be something completely different.
You don't want to compete with yourself, do you, really? And we do a few adult parties in there as well, so that's nice as well because it mixes it up a little bit. We've got Skinny Kitchen, our brand there, which is more like the health food restaurant. Health food
at the end of the port bit,
end of the port, and last week we just
I didn't know that was you. I've learned something new today.
Yeah, we've got one in Figuerettas as well. Yeah. And just last week we opened up a Skinny Deli, which is more of like takeaway, stuff like that, servicing all the boats in the marina there. Nice, we've got Ithaca, which is our sort of bar on the front there, famous bar next to Ibiza Rocks Bar. Yeah. We've got that. We've got.
I think Lisa Good's doing a party in the end of the end of the season with you guys.
Yeah. We've got Faith Concierge Business. Yeah. We've got downstairs our Spanish Taverna, which serves all the locals and all the builders and things like that. So we've really sort of diverse. We've got property company.
We've got the hotel around the bay.
Wiki Woo. We've got the Apollo staff. That's one of our best assets actually. We've taken Staff Hotel. Wow, it's.
Well, you and Javier have got no choice, have you?
You've got it. We've got like 1,100 staff here on the island collectively. So finding accommodation is one of the reasons a lot of people don't come back each year now. It's because they can't afford the accommodation against the wages you earn.
Well, I mean, you were doing stories of a one-bedroom apartment with 8 to 10 people in it.
It's mental.
I mean, because the price of.
I think that was always a thing, though, wasn't it?
No,
with the young
when
workers
you're young,
out.
I don't think.
I think I lived in a 3-bedroom apartment with about 12 people. It was all part of it as a laugh, isn't it? But generally now, those are very, very expensive. And it's
the island's getting more and more expensive.
More and more expensive.
I mean, the island does talk about, the government and that about they're not building enough housing for the people that live here, are they, and stuff like that.
Well, I think that's been one of the successes of O Beach, though, is our price point. Of course, we've had incremental climb over the years.
To you because, if you go to the major clubs, you take 25 euros for a gin and tonic. What are you, 12, 13 euros?
Yeah,
I mean, you can actually go and have a drink.
Yeah, it is. But even then people go, 12 euros for a drink. What they've got to remember is that it's like a triple. It's not like where you pay 8 euros for a one back in the London where you get a single shot. It's free pour here. So you're getting doubles, triples anyway. So it's incredible the pricing out here. But, it is what it is, isn't it, really?
Who would you say your biggest influences have been here on this island?
Easy. Tony Pike.
Yeah.
Jason Ball, Alan and Tommy for what they were doing. No, it's true. It's true. You always look up the people who are doing what you want to do. I think things like that. And then I'm very lucky. 20 years ago, I met my fairy godfather, a guy called Vicente Juan. Vicente.
He's the white guy you originally found Ho Beach.
Yeah, he's the one who sort of helped me find and get all the businesses that I've got. And I used to rent his house for many years as well. Having that Ibasenko person is very, very important. And him, I spoke to him yesterday on the phone. He's 85 years of age now. He's been, wow, I couldn't have done it without him. So, and not only that, he's been a mentor as well. Every time I've had a major issue or any issue, whether it's personal life, business life, I always go to him. I've always gone to him and seek his advice. He's very level-headed.
What people don't realise on this island is that you do need a local person.
You do.
You do need a local person. Yeah. Javier famously, because when we did La Pasión on the main road to Ibiza, we got shut down after 6 weeks. Yeah. And Javier always says to us, you should have done that with me. And I said, yes, we should have done that with you.
But he's not Ibasenko now, is he?
No, he's not, but he understands the island.
He understands
the island.
Yeah.
And I said, yourselves, Wayne and him, are 3 of the people responsible for turning San into a better place.
Yeah, and I think Andy and Dawn at Ibiza Rocks, I think they've done a fantastic job as well. And it's, I think collectively all those sort of groups together have really been sort of helped pushing San Antonio. Yeah. For me, it's still the most beautiful part of the island. Yeah. It's like the sunsets and everything. And now, especially when you go around town and you see the work and the infrastructure that's gone into the roads, the payments, the paseos, the hotels, it really is involving. Yeah. So you can see why the investment is here.
Yeah, no, and there's been a lot of investment.
You've always loved San Anne, hasn't you?
Listen, I stay all over the island. Yeah. I for years and years, I did Pachel on the Monday, and I did the Thursdays at Esparadis. Yeah. And I loved them equally. They're both my babies. Yeah. But half the people from Ibiza town would never come to San Antonio. No. There was always that divide.
There's always that stigma.
There was always that, we're going to San Antonio.
They do now, though.
They do now.
They do now, massively so.
Yeah, they do now.
I would say, I think we've got a thing actually on our login on the internet, and it tells us a lot of our demographics. We probably 40% of our trade each day comes from the other parts of the island. 60% out of San Antonio and the west coast. But a lot of it from over there.
I'm happy to. I'm a bit different from some people. Every time I come, I stay in a different place.
Yeah.
I always stay.
That's a good idea.
I'm in a villa at the back of San Antonio this week.
Nice.
We can film there. It's great. It's quiet.
You're not still getting kicked out of every property you go in now, are you? Them days are over.
I behave myself these
days.
Days
are over. Yeah.
When we were here for the conference, we were over in Jesus. So we and you go to a different bar in different breakfast bar. You go to a different food restaurant. If you stay in a different part, you get a different flavour.
Yeah, of course you do.
And I quite like that.
Yeah,
I quite like the variety.
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah. Variety's the spice of life. I'll tell you something funny. I've moved into a new villa last year, and I've had my family staying with me. And a few nights ago, there was a party going on in one of the villas next door. And one of my family went, "Why are you going to go and complain about that noise?" I said,
"How can you do that?"
I said, "Are you over there last night
That's
laughing?"
the biggest hypocrite.
I said, "Are you over there laugh?" I said, "That's been me for 35 years doing that." I said, "How can I?" They was going, "We're going to be out." They kept us up all night. I said, "So what? It's like beef."
You're on holiday.
You're on holiday.
Yeah.
I said, "Just shut the patio doors. You'll be fine."
Yeah, put earplugs in.
Yeah, it's like, how could you complain? And it's such a shame. Did you see that villa party on social media the other day?
I did.
Wow. Unbelievable. It's one of the best.
So money was spent there.
Yeah, I think the lady done over £1 million on it, didn't she? Without the DJ lineup, just what she'd done production-wise.
She's got a few quid, obviously.
She's got a few quid, the Russian lady, yeah. And I was like, wow. And they're talking about, ban DJs, ban. What a load of crap. Let them have it. People want to spend that money on the island.
We know what the politics is, though, don't we?
Yes.
Unfortunately.
Jealousy.
Yeah, but they've got the people that are shutting these things down. They got no reason to be jealous. That's what I don't understand. But we've dealt with that all. I've dealt with that all my life. Because I've worked in every single club pretty much. And when I used to do patch on Monday, first thing Pepe used to say to me is, "What was it like on Monday?" And I go,
"Yeah,
unbelievable."
Unbelievable, yeah.
His face was like, but then we were full there as well. So there's always been a bit of competition between the Spanish.
I always think if they're doing well, hopefully you'll do well, right? And I think the more places that are doing well, it's better for the brand Ibiza, not your own brand or whoever's brand. It's brand Ibiza, and for me, that's what it's all about.
Well, that's the good side of you. I would say about you, Tony, is that you're not looking at 5 to 8 as a competition.
Not at all.
You're looking at them as another great venue.
Amazing.
And competition's good sometimes.
It keeps you on your toes. Yeah. Keeps you thinking at the end of the season when you sit down and you do your programming or you do your everything that you do to make the following year work. Of course, you sit down and you go, what are they doing? What are they doing? What have they booked them? What have they got special?
And you haven't got to hate them. You've just got to just compete with them.
No, that's right. Yeah. I think one of my proudest moments, Al, was when I see O Beach name on one of the ticket boards for the first time.
Okay.
I know it's quite a simple thing.
No,
but over the years, there was Pasha, Amnesia, El Divino, DC10. And I remember seeing it, and it wasn't even in San Antonio. It was in Playa del Bossa, and I was like, wicked. I've actually thought, I know it's really like a simple little thing, but I thought, we've made it. We might have been bottom of the board, but we was on the board.
Yeah. No, listen.
Hopefully we've moved up that board a little bit now.
But I mean, listen, I see a stat in O Beach, isn't it the place in the whole of the island that sells the most champagne? Is that correct?
I think it is.
That's a great stat.
Whether you call it champagne carver or ocean spray, it's a different matter. No, it does. Yeah, we sell a lot. You know, they say champagne's been sort of dying out recently because everyone drinks tequila. Tequila outsold vodka for the first time last year.
Really?
Guinness outsold lager for the first time globally last year as well. So champagne has been more, but we do the spray parties. I think that's where we still do them once a month on a Sunday. It's Carver. It's cheap champagne and it stinks. You want to go in there on a Monday morning afterwards. It smells like the old sticky carpets in the nightclub back in the day.
We've done enough of that. We've done enough of that.
So there's still a bit of the old school in it, really. And that's what Fake Gratis does to you.
So the whole reason for us being here today, Tony, is to induct yourself into the Ibiza Hall of Fame and O Beach.
Thank you.
And we're going to get a special plaque for you for O Beach, a big one.
Yeah.
And you're going to put it up.
One for the front door and one for my table.
We do that for you because
I'll make sure loads of people have photos of it. And give it a
photo shoot place.
Thank you very much, Al. That's a great privilege, mate.
Yes, thank you very much for all the parties.
Especially get one of my fellow peers. Thank you. Wicked, I've got a shiny one.
Yeah, you got a shiny one.
Lovely, brilliant.
So that's all we have time for at the Ibiza Hall of Fame podcast. Remember to like, subscribe, and to follow us on all of our platforms. See you soon.
It's Ibiza Hall of Fame.